MovieWeb.com.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you, you know, when you set out to make this documentary,
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you why, because to me, why is obvious.
Right.
There's different styles of documentary filmmakers. You know, there's people like Michael Moore and Nick Broomfield who are very much part of the documentary.
Yeah.
And then like, you know, Joe and Bruce, the guys who made the Metallica movie, they're in it a little bit when it sort of becomes about the documentary for a minute, but then they basically kind of stay away.
Yeah.
What did you kind of decide would be your role? Because obviously we know it's Mike Rapp.
Yeah.
You know, as far as being on camera and voice and that sort of thing.
I realized early on that I didn't want to be in the movie. I didn't have a problem with me kind of slipping in there, my voice and all that stuff, but I didn't want it to be like my exploration with A Tribe Called Quest, or my journey with A Tribe Called Quest. Like, hey, I'm here, and we're gonna go talk to Phife Dawg. You know, I didn't want that to be the case. I love, you know, Michael Moore and what he does, but I really want it to be about them. And keeping that framework helped me as a director, because whenever it got out of the four guys, it would kind of be like, I like that, that might be cool, but it's got to go. And there's so much fun stuff of me with them and me on the road with them and me chasing rappers, which is a whole fun little, you know, thing. But that's for the DVD. But I knew right away, like, I wanted it to be about them, and I didn't want to, like, you know, be a part of the movie, really.
Yeah, rappers not really known for keeping schedules.
Musicians in general are not really, you know, big. Artists, I don't think, you know, really, you know, work on time frames very well.
So you obviously spent a lot of time making this film, a lot of time editing and so forth. I'm super curious to know, you know, every director, especially with a documentary like this where there's so much story to tell. Can you tell me about a couple of scenes that were just like so close to being in the movie that you really hated to lose? You have to cut things.
I mean, there's scenes, I think that there were scenes that sort of inform you more what kind of person Q-Tip is that I had to cut out. That'll be in the DVD. There was some exploration of songs that, like Scenario. There was a great scene about Scenario and sort of all the different people that I interviewed talking about Busta Rhymes and doing an impression of Busta Rhymes and his lyrics, and he's so heightened, and everybody would do, like, once you say Busta Rhymes, like he just brings a smile. Everybody had a smile. So that was one scene, and there was a really good sequence on Jay Dilla and what he meant to certain people and what he meant to A Tribe Called Quest. Those, you know, dynamics, the Q-Tip stuff and what he's like, and the Busta Rhymes and Jay Dilla were you know, definitely hard to get rid of.
Now, I thought it was an interesting choice as a journalist, because a lot of times this is a lead in the story. The movie actually kind of starts out from a very dramatic point of conflict and everything, and then it goes into, you know, a lot of the positivity and inclusiveness that this group is all about. How hard was it to make that choice to kind of start off?
That's a good question. Yeah, I mean, we start off with sort of the tension, and the reason why I wanted to go with that, because that's what it is like now. And that's kind of the thing that most fans, and I even as a real sort of fan with an inside scoop, I wasn't aware of. So I wanted to kind of bring you up to speed on where things were now, and then go back to everything you did expect. And my goal as a filmmaker and the pacing of the movie was to kind of keep you off balance. I never wanted to go too indulgent into the good times, and I never wanted to, you know, stay too much into the bad times or the rough parts. And I wanted to just keep that balance. The music really helps, because every time you play the music, it kind of brings you up. So one of the best ways I think that we pulled that off, and it wasn't just me, it's my editor and the people around me really helped me, you know, is talking about the diabetes. You know, we quote Phife's line, you know, the funky diabetic, which is one of his famous lines, and then we sort of brings you into one of the more serious parts of the movie, is exploring Phife's health. So, you know, just kind of using the music sometimes as a narrator in a way was something that we were consciously doing.
I think the reason why A Tribe Called Quest is still relevant is because it was truth.